Morning, everyone. Welcome to our council meeting. Today is May 28th. Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Here.
Councilmember Cavallo.
Here.
Councilmember Cowden is excused. Councilmember Holland.
Present.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Present.
Councilmember Kuli'i is on his way. Council Chair Pozo.
Here. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda, please?
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Chair, next item is on page 2, the minutes of the following meetings of the Council. The May 7th, 2025 public hearing regarding Resolution number 2025-21, Bill number 2949, and Bill number 2950, and the May 14th, 2025 public hearing regarding Bill number 2952 and Bill number 2953.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Next item is an interview for the Charter Review Commission, Marissa Sandblum, for a term ending 12/31/26.
Thank you. With that, I'll suspend the rules. Morning.
Morning. Getting used to the new mics and things. Morning, everybody. Ellen Sheng, Boards and Commissions Administrator. I'm pleased to introduce Marissa Sandblum. Marissa was born and raised on Kauai. She attended Ele, Waimea Canyon, and Waimea, and graduated from Waimea. Following high school, she matriculated at UH Manoa. She pursued a double major in business administration and corporate communication and earned a bachelor's degree at Hawaii Pacific University, as well as a master's degree in business administration. Directly out of college, she started working at Citibank in Honolulu, but ultimately decided that Kauai was where she wanted to be. She landed a job at the Kauai Economic Development Board with past president and CEO Matty Yoshioka. There, Marissa oversaw a wide range of projects related to business development, a comprehensive economic development strategy, SEDS, which is the cornerstone of local planning to leverage grant funding from the U.S. Department of Commerce and Aloha Iki, linking Department of Education and employers to enhance educational opportunities. In 2005, Marissa became the vice president at the Grow Farm Company. She was assigned to special projects, community relations, and was primarily in charge of the foundation and the scholarship program. The scholarship program is one of the largest in the state. Each year, 3 scholarships are awarded, each valued at $20,000. For a year in 2019, Marissa joined Common Ground, which is an organization dedicated to building local economy of food and beverage businesses. It only seems natural after a career of managing and working with grants. Marissa was offered a position with the Hawaii Community Foundation in 2021, where she is currently the senior director. As the senior director, she is one of the team leads on the foundation's change framework, which focuses on understanding and addressing the most critical and complex challenges facing our community. It's based on the belief that using common data, forging agreement on shared goals, and taking collective action, systemic inequities can be addressed. When she's not contemplating the world's problems, she's a proud and busy mom of 4, spanning the ages of 5 to a 19-year-old college student attending Southern Oregon. In the rare instances of free time, she enjoys reading, baking, and reviving her succulents. As a family, almost every other year is spent in Sweden visiting hubby's family and exploring Europe. Her dream trip would be to see the pyramids. Marissa has served on the Charter Commission previously, and I'm so pleased that she's willing to volunteer her time, experience, and technical knowledge to the Commission again.
Thank you. And Marissa, thank you for agreeing to serve again for another term. Any questions for Marissa? Well, you have anything to say to add to that amazing bio? What an amazing introduction.
Thanks. No, I just wanted to say good morning, everyone. I wanted to mahalo Ellen for that very comprehensive kind of professional summary. And then I just wanted to say real briefly, it's an honor to be in front of you. we all wear many hats, and so I'd be remiss if I also didn't share that in addition to my professional experience, I'm also the proud daughter of Bobby and Nancy Matsuda and Waimea, sister to Tandy, wife to Eric, mom to Sand, Savor, Sofina, and Swede, and cousin, niece, colleague, friend to many. And so it would be a privilege, if confirmed, to serve my community by serving on the County of Kauai's Charter Review Commission.
Well, thank you. Any questions for Marissa or comments? Go ahead.
What an impressive bio and experience. It's our privilege to have you. Thank you so much for serving.
No, that's really sweet.
Go ahead.
Just mahalo, Marissa, for your background, your wealth of knowledge and understanding of community and all of it. So just appreciate you coming back and you're an awesome mom and at home first, right? And then in the community and all of that. So mahalo.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had the privilege of working with Marissa for many years at Grove Farm, and I'm just happy in what you've done and what you've become, and I'll definitely be voting for you for charter. How you find time to volunteer, I'm not sure, but I appreciate it.
Lots of juggling, but thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you again, Marissa. Yeah, I think that intro was very good, but time doesn't allow you to tell it all. And you're everywhere. You've done a lot. You continue to do so much for the community. So we appreciate what you do, and we definitely look forward to you serving another term. So thank you again. But you can stay if you want.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I'm going to turn this off.
Okay, thank you. We'll vote on the resolution at next week's meeting. With that, I'll call the meeting back to order. Next item, please.
Next item are items on the consent calendar for receipt, C2025-118, 119, and 120.
Move to receive.
Okay.
Thank you. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Communication C2025-115, communication from the mayor submitting his supplemental budget communication for fiscal year 2025-2026 and proposed amendments to the budget bills pursuant to Section 19.02A of the Kauai County Charter.
Move to receive.
Okay.
Thank you. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
On page 3, C2025-121, communication from Council Vice Chair Kuali'i and Council Member Bolosan, transmitting for council consideration a bill for an ordinance amending Section 25-11.2 Kauai County Code 1987 as amended relating to sewers to provide sewer connection fee exemptions for workforce housing. Chair, we have one registered speaker for the item.
Move to receive.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or public testimony?
One registered speaker.
Yep, that's fine. We'll take the testimony up now so you don't have to wait for the actual bill. So with that, I'll suspend the rules.
Thank you, Chair, Council members. I'm Douglas Haig, a volunteer. On the top. Life changes.
We've upgraded.
Thank you, Chair, Council members. I'm Douglas Haig, a volunteer head of the Land Development Committee for Kauai Habitat for Humanity, and I'm here in support of Bill number 2960, and greatly appreciate the Council bringing this forward, providing sewer connection fee waiver for affordable housing. Every chance to save money in our developments, building homes for Kauai people, helps us build more homes. The environment now is getting more difficult. Finding money for projects is more difficult. Our federal partners, a lot of them have retired, and new members are not up to speed, so processing of funding is much slower. So it's a challenge. But Kauai Habitat, we're proud that we are meeting the challenge, continuing working, and then this bill particularly will help us. We have a current project in Waipouli, 17 homes for Kauai people, and this bill will save us approximately $16,000, which helps. You know, it's a small part of the project, but every bit helps. I just want to support this bill moving forward, and thank you for putting it up on the agenda.
Thank you. Any questions for Doug? Yes, sir. Thank you for being here today. So Waipouli is one example, but do you see the benefit of this bill in future projects that are?
Absolutely. We're looking at a project now in Lahui, which would be connecting to existing sewer system, which would save us considerable money in the fees for that project. And that's a significant project. I can't talk about it in detail. It's still, tentative. And then any other projects in the Hui area would benefit from this. So, and we're continually trying to get more projects in the Hui area. So the Hui area, anywhere we have existing sewer systems. Now, a lot of our projects, we develop the infrastructure. We have a big project coming in Elieli, approximately 70 homes. There, since we're developing the infrastructure, we already have the benefit of waiving the sewer connection fees because we're spending all the money on the infrastructure. So, but I think this is a great bill and will help us and other affordable housing developers to move forward.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Mr. Puli.
I'm not sure if I heard you say it, maybe it was just in different words, but the savings that would come to the development of these units would be passed on to the future owners and tenants, correct?
Yeah, I mean, Kauai Habitat does not take profit. So every penny we save, every penny that's granted to us is spent for affordable housing and the effort to make that happen.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Doug? If not, Doug, thank you again for taking the time to come in this morning.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyone else in the audience wishing to testify? Seeing none, I'll call the meeting back to order. Again, this is the communication. Any further discussion, the bill will be up later. If not, the motion is to receive. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
C2025-122, communication from Acting Assistant Chief of Police Makana Rivera, requesting council approval of the indemnification provision contained in the Hexagon Geosystem Software License Agreement for the Leica services to allow the Kauai Police Department to continue using Leica Map 360 and associated software during investigations to stitch together, scan, compose reports, and format data.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
C2025-123, communication from Acting Assistant Chief of Police Makana Rivera, requesting council approval of the indemnification provision contained in the Exodus Terms of Use to provide specialized online training to Kauai Police Department personnel on the proper handling, investigation, and management of cryptocurrency and blockchain-related evidence, which is essential for equipping officers with the necessary knowledge and skills to address the growing incidence of cybercrime, digital financial investigations, and cryptocurrency-related criminal activity.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or public testimony? With that, I'll suspend the rules. Mr. Hart.
Director Bruce Hart. As my interest in the police department and the crimes they investigate, I've never ever heard of any cases related to this. I'm interested. I'm just curious. Have we had any actual cases that relate to this program? Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. I like that. That looked nice on you, man, those bars.
Good morning, aloha. Acting Assistant Chief Makana Rivera, Kauai Police Department Sports Services Bureau. So to address that question, as cryptocurrency becomes more popular, we do see an increase in crimes and scammers targeting people with cryptocurrency. So I wouldn't say we've seen a huge rash of it, but we've definitely seen an increase, and it does occur here. Most of our investigations will center around scams, people being convinced that they're investing in legitimate businesses that are built by scammers to fraud people out of their cryptocurrency. So this software will give us, our investigators, crypto wallets that allow them in the investigations to deal with transfer of any cryptocurrency.
Any questions for Assistant Chief? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience wishing to testify? If not, I'll call the meeting back to order. Again, any further discussion? Oh. If not, the motion is to approve. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Next item, please.
C2025-124, communication from the prosecuting attorney requesting council approval to receive and extend state funds in the amount of $74,434 and to indemnify the State of Hawaii Department of the Attorney General to be used towards funding for Victim Witness Assistance Program 26-VW-03 for the period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2027.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Again, Mr. Hart, I'll suspend the rules.
For the record, Bruce Hart. The last time this program came up, I testified. And to begin with, in case there's any misunderstanding, my interest and my comments were directed towards a focus upon these grants. And I pointed out to the council that these grants are being cut by the Department of Justice. I have always been in support of the Victim Witness Program. I've experienced it firsthand. So if there isn't any misunderstanding, I am in support of some of these grants and some of them I am not. And they are going to be cut. It says here, yes, the Department of Justice has terminated a significant number of JAG, Edward Bry Memorial Justice Assistance grants, and other justice-related grants. $811 million worth so far. So since this is going to affect our county as well as all the counties, because these programs support a great number of what they do. You can read, I mean, it's just obvious. And I think the council ought to take a look at it. Because if these grants are cut, we're going to be funding these programs, or the programs will no longer exist. Are council members aware of the programs they're in support of, and do they have questions in regards to other programs? I am. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? There's some echo in here. I'm not sure why, but any other one in the audience wishing to testify? If not, I'll call a meeting back to order. Any further discussion? If not, the motion is to approve. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Next item, please.
C2025-125, communication from the prosecuting attorney requesting council approval to receive and extend state funds in the amount of $222,628 from the Career Criminal Prosecution Program Grant 26-CCP-03 and indemnify the State of Hawaii Department of the Attorney General to be used towards funding 1.5 full-time equivalent deputy prosecuting attorney and fringe benefits for the period of July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2027.
Move to approve. Second.
With that, I'll suspend the rules. Mr. Hart.
For the record, Bruce Hart. Again, to continue, this is one of the programs that I don't know enough about. What I don't know is how well is it performing. I want to know what results it's getting. I want to know if it's reducing crime in the area that it's related to. I'd like some transparency. I'd like some information. Since I want to know so I can be in support of the program or express my dissatisfaction with the program. I can't do that. Council members can. Thank you.
Anyone else? Not, I'll call a meeting back to order. I just want to, and maybe Mr. Hart doesn't have access to the communication, but all of the prosecutors, attorneys, grant applications come across, and in the application, the measurables are all included if it's a recurring grant. So this is readily available. I know whenever the prosecutors comes up, Councilmember Cowden always questions the effectiveness of these programs, but the reality is all of these programs are strictly monitored by the granting agency. And if staff can provide that copy to Mr. Hart or whoever else wants it, but in it, it's very clear on the whether it's successful or not is subjective, but the stats are there, and it clearly talks about how many cases, how many of the criminals the career criminals got sentenced to prison, how many got probation. All of that is in the application itself. I don't want the public to think that the council does not review these grant applications and review these programs before we say aye. I don't want the public to think that we're just rubber stamping these things. It's so more so for the prosecutor. Is anyone here from the prosecutor's office? Oh, Becky, you're right there. All of the applications, grant applications that come from the prosecutor's office is very, very thorough. And in fact, everything is included in the packet with the expenditures, the spreadsheets, and the results of the program. And any council member, if they have any questions on any specific part of that grant, and this goes for any grant in the county, whether it's transportation or public works or wherever, the council members have an opportunity to dig a little deeper. But in this case, the numbers are there. I think it's a very successful program. And to address the comment about, which is a valid comment, the concern that these funding sources may dry up, because the mayor and his budget team, along with the council, recognize that in the budget there is funds available should any of these programs be short funded or cut, that the county will be able to pick it up and these services will not stop. So I just wanted to make that clarification for the public. Any other?
Can I make a clarification?
Sure. I'll suspend the rules.
For the record, Bruce Hart. Yes, I've looked at these, but I would like to know how effective it's been within the community at reducing crime. I'm only asking so that I can be in support, because the Department of Justice is asking. They've cut programs, but they're taking appeals. They want to hear from the communities which are affected. And I would imagine they want to hear from the prosecutor's office, and they want to hear from the council, and what other government is affected by it, because the council is affected because we fund. Okay?
Thank you. Anyone else? No, I'll call the meeting back to order. Go ahead. Mr. Cooley.
No, I just wanted to add to the comments that, so during the budget process, Councilmember Cowden and I asked some pretty detailed questions, and some of it was based on what we've heard from you, Mr. Hart, and some other constituents. And so some of it was so detail-oriented that we're actually still awaiting response. So I will just let you know that when we get the response, we'll be sure to share that. And Chair, we might even ask the prosecutor to come, since they're doing all this work to collect all that data, to maybe come and share that with us as well.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Because I do a lot of work in order to investigate.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Anyone else? Not. The motion is to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
On page 4, C2025-126, communication from the fire chief requesting council approval to accept a donation of 2 40-foot shipping containers and the associated indemnity waiver language at an estimated value of $5,000 each from Pasha, Hawaii, allowing the Training Bureau to construct a stable training structure with an interior environment building layout supporting specialized fire ground survival and Mayday training for firefighters.
Move to approve with a thank you letter to Pasha, Hawaii.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
C2025-127, communication from the Director of Parks and Recreation requesting council approval to apply for, receive, and expend state funds in the amount of $150,000 and approval of the indemnification clause and cost of litigation provisions included in the agreement with the State of Hawaii Department of Agriculture for the purposes of mitigating the spread of the coconut rhinoceros beetle on Kauai, aiming to investigate effective mechanisms for abating the spread with an emphasis on controlling breeding sites in green waste.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Ms. Holland?
Yes, I want to just say how grateful I am that the Department of Agriculture has been working with our county to help fund some of this response around green waste management. It looks like this could potentially fund a mobile curtain burner that could be used to burn contaminated green waste, priority being on our county parks, but also hopefully being able to assist community as well. So I'm super thankful with the administration working with the DOA to get this money, and we need all the help we can get. So I'm super thankful for that. Thank you, Chair.
Mr. Cooley?
Yeah, I too want to add, I think this is important that we tackle the coconut rhinoceros beetle problem and other invasive species. So this is a good start. I think I saw on the news the other night that Governor Green signed the green fee, and it's going to bring millions of dollars to the state, and some of that is intended for this very same purpose. So hopefully we can go after those funds as well.
Yes.
Mr. Kanashiro?
I want to thank Councilmember Holland for, I guess, ringing the fire alarm on CRB, and I believe contacting the state about the money too, and helping facilitate getting this $150,000. So, thank you.
Yeah, she did more than ring a fire alarm. I was a couple of Zoom calls with her with all the state people and feds, and you know, I did want to clear up. There was a post on Facebook about the council rejecting funding for the CRB, which is simply not true. The council added funds to the CRB fight, and there was a proposal to add another $100,000, but that would have come at a cost of other projects that were important. But we did add funds to the administration's budget, or to the budget for CRB. But at that time, Councilmember Holland was in constant dialogue with the Department of Ag and the Department of Health, and was somewhat convinced that these fundings would be made available at a later time. I didn't expect it to be this soon, so thank you for keeping the foot on the pedal on this matter. You know, I am going to take a recess because this echo is driving me nuts. So can we take a short recess for IT to fix this?
Shit.
Meeting called back to order. Next item, please.
C 2025-128, communication from the Director of Finance requesting council approval to accept terms contained in the Statement of Work, Amendment 5, associated with the establishment of a real-time online property tax payment with Tyler Technologies.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Chair, could we go back to 127? I'm sorry, we didn't take the vote on that.
Oh, my apologies. Go back to 127. The motion is to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item.
Next item are legal documents. C 2025-129, communication from the county engineer recommending council approval of the Second Amendment to the Right of Entry Agreement and associated indemnification language pertaining to a parcel of Hawaiian homelands in Wailua, Kauai, Hawaii, granting access to a parcel situated at TMK number 4390224 for the use of the former Kane Hall Road as a bypass route only during emergencies when Kuhio Highway is obstructed. This is the Second Amendment to the Right of Entry number 344.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? For the public's benefit, this is the Wailua Emergency Bypass Road that we haven't used for a long time, and it was because of the agreement between the county and the DHHL hadn't been renewed, so it's renewed after today. So in emergency, we'll be able to open up that road. Thank you, Mr. Cooley, for reaching out to Mr. Watson and moving this ahead. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
C 2025-130, communication from the county engineer recommending council approval of a construction right of entry agreement between the County of Kauai and the State of Hawaii Department of Transportation Harbors Division to allow entry upon the premises in order to construct, operate, maintain, repair, and remove the temporary bridge for ancillary equipment and barriers, and also for the right of ingress and egress and regress over roads leading to the areas situated at TMK numbers 432-003-007, portion 43, and Nawiliwili Harbor for the purposes of constructing the Numalu Temporary Bridge Project. This is a construction right of entry agreement.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, any further discussion? This is like ready for a happy dance for this one. That's the new power bridge that finally gets fixed. With that, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
On page 5, C 2025-131, communication from the county engineer recommending council approval of the land license agreement and associated indemnity provision and the mutually agreed upon applicable lease extensions between the County of Kauai and the State of Hawaii Agribusiness Development Corporation for a portion of land situated at TMK number 412-002-001, Kekaha, Kauai, Hawaii, to allow the county to operate the mobile Kekaha High Five Certified Redemption Center on Wednesdays and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. This again is a license agreement number LIK-25-12.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Chair, next item for approval are your committee reports from your Committee on Finance and Economic Development, CRFED 2025-6, 2025-7, 2025-8, 2025-9. On page 6, CRFED 2025-10 and 2025-11.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Next item is a resolution. Resolution number 2025-21, resolution establishing the real property tax rates for the fiscal year July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026 for the County of Kauai.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Cavallo.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Opozo.
Aye.
6 ayes.
Thank you. Next item.
Next item is resolution number 2025-26, resolution confirming mayoral appointment to the Building Board of Appeals for Jason Ornelas, Fire Safety.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kanashiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
6 ayes.
Next item, please.
Next item is resolution number 2025-27, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Planning Commission for Glenda Nogami Strufert at large.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kanashiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
6 ayes.
Thank you. Next item.
Next item is a bill for first reading. Proposed draft bill number 2960, a bill for an ordinance amending section 25-11.2 Kauai County Code 1987 as amended relating to sewers.
Move to approve on first reading, schedule for public hearing on June 25th, and refer to the Public Works and Veteran Services Committee.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony?
Just want to say a quick,
Yeah, please.
just a quick, this is a fairly simple bill, sponsored by Councilmember Bulasan and I. In fact, Councilmember DeCosta and I were working on it a little at the end of the last term and didn't get it completed. So this bill is to provide sewer connection fee exemptions for workforce housing projects. And it has two levels, 100% exemption for affordable housing projects, which is 120% AMI and lower, and then a 50% exemption for the GAP group housing projects, which is above that amount. And the GAP group amount is determined by the housing director and the applicable provisions of the housing policy. That's it, Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, the motion is to approve. Roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kanashiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
6 ayes.
Next item, please.
The next item on page 7 is bill number 2949, draft 1, a bill for an ordinance relating to the operating budget and financing thereof for the fiscal year July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. This is the fiscal year 25-26 operating budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kanashiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
6 ayes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item is bill number 2950, draft 1, a bill for an ordinance relating to the capital improvements and financing thereof for the fiscal year July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. This is the fiscal year 25-26 CIP budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. With that, this is the last budget item for the year. With that, Mr. Kanashiro, I'll turn it over to you right now. You ran a very good budget session, so I'll let you go first.
Yeah, well, thanks for making it smooth of coming back. I mean, I think this is our first budget. We actually had money. I think Council Chairman Reposo, Kuali'i, remember when I first got in, we had no money and we were like desperately trying to cut stuff. And, I think having money is just as difficult as not having money because now you have to be responsible for where the money is going and prioritizing where the money goes. I just want to thank everybody for, the admin for being very responsive on all the questions we sent, council for coming prepared, and all our staff for all the work you've done to make the budget smooth. I'll just go over like some quick highlights. The finalized operating budget is $347 million. The CIP budget is $135 million. Our real property tax rates will remain unchanged, so no changes to our real property tax rates. Our main sources of revenue still remain our real property taxes, transient accommodation tax, and general excise tax. Housing is still a major priority, and money has been put towards housing, $14.1 million this year put towards housing, for a total of $33.1 million in the housing fund right now. Roads, we've always heard, has been an issue in the past. Luckily, we have general excise tax. So road resurfacing and road work and bridge work are all priorities. This year, there's $36 million in island-wide resurfacing alone. not including any CIP work for bridges and other road work. As far as our CIP goes, island-wide play court resurfacing has a bunch of money in it. That's for tennis, pickleball, basketball courts, which, yeah, some of them I've seen needed a lot of work. And so I'm glad those are getting done. We have a lot of projects going in for Vidina Stadium improvements, Veteran Cemetery improvements, Convention Hall improvements. And then, as we mentioned earlier today, there was additional money put in towards invasive species for coconut rhinoceros beetle, little fire ants, parrots, etc., whatever is going to come up. And I think, throughout the budget process, we did see where our needs are. We need police officers. We have a lot of vacancies there. We also need bus drivers. There are a lot of vacancies there. And so, other than that, I think the budget represents the county really well. We still focus on our core responsibilities and have been able to prioritize our CIP projects to make improvements to, again, facilities that everyone uses, like Convention Hall, Vidina Stadium, Veteran Cemetery, which is important to all of us, and island-wide road resurfacing. Play court resurfacing. So, not.
Jumping to speech.
Yeah, so I want to thank Finance Chair Kanashiro. I think you did a wonderful job. I've learned so much about this process, and thanking the administration and really developing a comprehensive budget. I really appreciate the investing that we're doing in our community and our infrastructure. I'm excited to see the.
As a finance guy, so appreciate the discussion, the staffing, of course, everybody here on our side of the fence. But at the same time, knowing that whatever we got to do as we move forward is always on the table for discussion. But at the same time, I appreciate the process and all the allocation of funding that went to bear.
Work that we do at this table, and sometimes it's one of those things that just kind of flies under the radar to the community. Different here on Kauai, we're lucky that we have the relationships with our bill to late. As much as this budget is ginormous, TVR's visitor industry has some challenges. We're not, because it's not in front of their face, but sewer, housing, all those things may fly under the radar until it affects you. So it's really important that we address them now. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Puli.
Yeah, I want to say a big mahalo nui loa to the mayor and to his budget team and everyone in finance and all the department heads for all their work with us on the budget. We sent a lot contributed. I would say thank you to the chair for his big proposal time on in developing, and we got to a good place in the end. And I think it's important that we're putting the funds there for the restrooms in the soccer fields there near Vidina Stadium. A big, long time overdue investment that needs to be made. When it comes to real property tax rates, although we didn't change it this year, the change from last year will continue to impact our ability to invest more projects where the investment will happen from our Housing Development Fund. I have no doubt that we will spend that money and spend it very well to bring more successful housing projects like we are already having, but not enough. The only thing I would say further on tax rates is I would like to see us next year look at utilizing the tiers structure further. Potentially, I thought about proposing this year's for even the category of owner-occupied. Even though we have the lowest owner-occupied tax rate now, because it's still the lowest rate by far compared to any of our other counties here in the state. And then that whole thing could be revenue neutral, not to raise more money, but to give more relief. And then the last thing, speaking about giving more relief, I'm always disappointed when I see the numbers of how much monies we are spending or not collecting when we for relief to our people. So the home, but I think there are a lot of people. I remember when I first moved home from the continent, and I started getting deep into my parents' finances and helping them with that. Struggling, living on fixed income, Social Security, and they weren't even necessarily taking advantage of the relief that was provided to them. So I made sure they're entitled to. And that's it, Chair. Thank you, everyone, for a really good budget process.
Thank you. Anyone?
Tax, which help with roads. I remember we started a budget with no TAT money, which in the past we always had $15 million from TAT. We started a budget one year with no TAT at all, so we're negative $15 million in the whole 1 year. TAT now has helped a lot, for the budget. And then, there's been changes to non-owner occupied rate, to the vacation rental rate, and all of these changes have put us to where we are now, which is a good financial position. Not to say it's going to last forever. GET, I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future with that.
I think the biggest amount of gratitude, mahalo nui loa, absolutely goes to our staff who credit. And I know the budget team, especially, every session was there, cranking out all of our work, anticipating our needs, making notes of all our questions, and making sure that got over to admin and following up to make sure we got the answers we needed. And I know they worked extra hard, long days during the budget process, so really, really, really did. And I know they worked extra hard, long days during the budget process, so.
I think what the public doesn't see, and what we really don't talk about because it's comments that we had. That money is also tied up in necessary spending that we don't have the luxury of diverting. We just can't, because it is connected to necessary infrastructure or whatever. And we just can't, because it is connected to necessary infrastructure or whatever. And deferred maintenance is always going to be an issue. I did want to talk a little bit about, because we did have a little bit of disconnect and a little bit of different priorities, but that was resolved in the final days of the budget, where we moved some of the monies, or cut some of the budget and moved it over for programs that the council felt was important. And I thank all the council members for supporting that proposal. But it was again things that are I wouldn't say glamorous, but it's at the end of the day that money was part of the solution that got rid of the frogs from Lawai Valley. And I think we're at that stage now with CRB. We might be a little behind the 8 ball on CRB, but definitely for the little fire ants, we have an opportunity to stop it, go up this year. But a couple other things that I thought were important enough, and not real high ticket items, and thanks to Mr. Cooley, increasing executive director come up and say that they're operating at a deficit. They provide 2 services that I believe are vital in our community, and that is the sexual assault treatment program as well as the abuse hotline that has been around forever. So we restored the funding to those 2 programs so they can take care of our victims here on Kauai. The Kauai Fire Department helicopter, big expenditure, but it's a twin-engine helicopter that's going to keep our rescue guys safe. Right now they're operating in a single engine. They do a great job, but every time they go up, it's a big risk. And this twin-engine helicopter will not only provide a safer environment for them to work in, but also give us more capacity for firefighting and brush fires and all of that. The other one is Hawike. Hawike does such a community service for not just us on the council, but for the community in general. They were impacted with some funding cuts as well. And what a lot of people don't know is the contract that we had with Hawike was an hourly contract, that whenever they filmed our council meetings, they got paid for what they worked. And all of the times that you see Hawike out there for the community meetings, Waimea 400, all of these, the mayor's recap, the council's roundup, all of these things they were doing and not getting paid. And they were relying on funding, grant funding, private funding. And I was concerned that if we don't step up and start to pay for the services, that we would see it end. And it's not for the council will always be on. But I was more concerned about the other community projects or community events that they cover, and our people get to watch and learn. And aside from Hawaii, we don't have a print media anymore. I mean, Garden Island is non-existent, you know. If not for Dennis Fujimoto and his Happy Camper and the obituaries, I don't think anybody would buy that paper. So we got to find that vehicle to keep the people informed and engaged, and Hawaii does an excellent job. So I'm proud for this council to support that funding. But yes, trying times ahead. I mean, there's no secret that it's not Christmas. It's not like an influx of cash. We still have a lot of debt and a lot of expenses we got to cover. But yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, Committee Chair Arrow. It was great to have you back. The way you run your budget session. I think it was said a couple times about the responsiveness for working in collaboration. Not to mention the work that goes on, the discussions that go on before the actual budget hearings. That helps. We get to share our concerns or issues or needs. And then, as Mr. Cooley said, the biggest mahalo. No offense to the administration, finance team, or anybody else, or to you, Chair Kaneshiro, is our staff. It's just saying thank you is really not enough. I mean, it's because I don't think the people can appreciate what our staff does during a normal course of business, but now you add a budget session. See, because the council's work doesn't stop during budget. It's not where everything is put off during the budget process, which is a couple of months. That is additional to what they're doing. And our staff is, I think Mr. Cooley said long days. They had long days and nights. Some of these guys, I got the emails to prove it. These guys are responding to emails at night because they're trying to get all of our council members up to speed before the next day, before the next presentation. So I know we say it every year, and I know we don't say it enough, but I just want the public to understand, and sometimes you hear comments or you read comments like, oh yeah, they're overpaid, blah, 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 they get too many employees. Well, I honestly think that during that budget session, thank you all.
Chapter 17, Article 2, Kauai County Code 1987 as amended, relating to use of public electric vehicle chargers.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. This is final reading. Anybody in the audience wishing to testify?
Which one is this?
The electric vehicles? Okay, if not, any further discussion? I'll just say thank you for putting this bill together, and I think it's much needed, and can't wait for it to go into.
9.6 as amended, relating to the operating budget of the County of Kauai, State of Hawaii, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, by revising the amounts estimated in the general fund. This is for Shoko's temporary hazard pay.
Move to approve.
Okay.
Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none? Any further discussion? No? Roll call?
Councilmember Bolasan?
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho?
Aye.
Councilmember Hollis?
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro?
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i?
Aye.
Council Chair Pozo?
Aye.
6 ayes.
Okay, that concludes today's